The focus of attention used to be on Alpha individuals, garnering many praises from those who respected their excellence. Alpha people's drive, however, gradually declines as soon as the Sigma INFJ enters and succeeds in their individual methods. They don't seem to be able to thrive when an INFJ is present. INFJs are despised by Alpha persons for the following 10 reasons. Number 10. They find the Sigma's capacity to attain things with ease annoying. To succeed, Alpha individuals must still be aggressive, relentless, and persistent. To put oneself out there and dominate the industry, they must negotiate terms, optimize their charisma, and use every last bit of their resources. But because the Sigma INFJ may not always have the want to rule, and excel before being the finest, therefore, it annoys Alpha individuals why Sigma INFJs continue to achieve success in business, academia, and the workforce despite their docile demeanor and complacent behavior. Despite appearances, the Sigma INFJ works diligently and intelligently in silence. The Alpha becomes annoyed by the Sigma's propensity to succeed while keeping a low profile, since they seem always more effortless and subtle than they are. However, does the INFJ Sigma's proficiency negate the Alpha's labor of love? Number 9. The Alpha is no longer the center of attention. Due of their unending successes and victories, the Alpha typically receives praise and attention. The Alpha, however, recognizes they no longer possess the spotlight for themselves when the Sigma INFJ enters the picture. These quiet, self-sufficient people demonstrate their limitless potential as they pursue success every day. With so, others in their place of employment will begin to notice the admirable traits of the subdued yet confident Sigma INFJ. They will become aware of the arduous effort and unwavering resolve that have been going on behind their modest exterior. Therefore, the attention that Alpha individuals once reserved for themselves gradually shifts toward the Sigma. This progressive change in the hierarchy irritates the Alpha, who then silently despises or engages in passive hostility towards the Sigma. Number 8. Despite not being the best, they believe they were. One Sigma, the presence of INFJs in the Alpha's life is illuminating. Because their dominant nature doesn't always make them the best, it serves as a reminder for Alpha people to reduce their standards of themselves. They may not always be respected and qualified for leadership positions despite their charisma. Their need to dominate and guide the group does not necessarily mean that they are the best and most skilled of the group. It merely indicates that they wish to. But because Alpha individuals have seen how Sigma INFJs effortlessly win everyone's respect and adoration by being calm and serene, they begin to question what went wrong. They begin to mistrust their value and their viewpoint. The presence of the Sigma INFJ causes the Alpha to reevaluate their self-image, which can be quite stressful to Alpha people over time. However, do Sigma INFJs really want to agitate Alphas? Number 7. The Alpha INFJ feels insignificant next to the Sigma. In actuality, the Sigma INFJ never meant to offend, harm, or make the Alpha feel inferior. They don't even give a damn. Instead, they concentrate on their own responsibilities. They are emotionally free and aloof from the drama going on around them, because they, like everyone else, have lives of their own to live. Therefore, the only person who can ever make the Alpha feel tiny is themselves. Because they are unable to accept how the Sigmas gently and effortlessly shake their egos, they are simply transferring their own self-treatment onto the Sigma INFJ. They believe that the Sigma INFJs are deliberately drawing attention away from them so that they can focus exclusively on themselves, when in reality they are simply going about their duties as any other person in their position would. Number 6. The Sigma INFJ is more fascinating to people than the Alpha. With the Sigma INFJ's enigmatic demeanor, it is hardly surprising that most people in their immediate vicinity would be curious about their personal lives. Few people are allowed to enter their personal area because they flourish there. Sigma INFJs would therefore continue to be mysterious outsiders who operate on a different frequency for the rest of the group. They are interested in the kinds of attitudes, ideas, and thoughts that people on each end of the spectrum have, due to the fact that they hardly ever share them. Here comes the alpha who is accustomed to telling people about themselves and sharing the majority of their private lives with those they wish to impress. They grow accustomed to sharing all of their endearing qualities with the world, only to discover that people think they are cocky and haughty. Do you believe some alpha persons are arrogant as an INFJ Sigma? Number 5. INFJs and Sigma begin to receive more compliments than INFJs and Alpha. Sometimes it doesn't matter who is superior or best. Additionally, it is not a matter of who is deserving or not. Sometimes the Sigma INFJ's animosity of the Alpha is nothing more than plain envy. Well, after observing how others begin to admire the Sigma INFJs for their successes instead of their own, Alpha people begin to feel inferior to the Sigma. This inferiority subsequently developed into self-pity, which leads to them blaming others for their negative self-image. Some emotionally immature alphas have a tendency to put their interpersonal relationships ahead of their sentiments of inferiority and self-pity. Envy and resentment for other people's accomplishments grow as these unpleasant emotions develop. They are unable to be among people who are more qualified and efficient than they are. Number 4. Sigma INFJ resisted going along with them. Even when combined with passive violence, compulsion, and intimidation, this is what alpha people detest the most. Sigma INFJs are unconcerned. They won't automatically yield to somebody just because they appear to be in control. They won't haphazardly yield to the overwhelming forces of others, because everyone is treated equally in the first place, unless they are encouraged by someone's leadership to better themselves and advance their well-being. Sigma INFJs will never devote their time and effort to following other people's rules. They don't give a damn what people think. They go about their business, they march at their own pace, and they live life on own terms. They don't feel threatened or intimidated by other people's things or their surroundings. They have the appropriate kind of loyalty, not to the leader carrying it out. Have you attained this degree of openness? Number 3. They readily command respect from others. Because they are capable of putting aside their pride, Sigma INFJs are appreciated. Observe situations objectively and consider other people's opinions. That kind of person is respectable to everyone. On the other hand, some alpha individuals still need to use intimidation, fear, and hostility to compel others to follow them. They gain followers' esteem through force, which makes them less admirable. The Sigma's capacity to comprehend problems from all angles makes an impression. That they can analyze events with maturity and objectivity. However, when things don't go as expected right away, alpha personalities often get shut down. Number 2. Sigma INFJs are more effective in business. With the Sigma's extraordinary capacity to establish just norms and bargain their terms, alphas are unable to exploit their dominant persona to their advantage. Despite the situation, some alphas have a propensity to utilize their position and power to acquire what they desire. However, since Sigma INFJs will only present them with options that are fair, alpha persons feel uneasy and exposed among Sigma INFJs. They believe they are unable to understand the Sigma INFJ's thought process. Because these smart people can follow the rules, their sense of entitlement and power clash with the Sigma. Have you ever failed to negotiate with an alpha as a Sigma INFJ? Number 1. The Sigma cannot be produced. Anything INFJ does is on their own dime. Alpha personalities are triggered by the Sigma INFJ's capacity to implement hard limits and refuse to do favors. In general, practically anything Sigma INFJs do causes the alpha to become aggressive. It's because Sigma INFJs won't take advantage of anyone else. To demonstrate where people should enter and exit their lives, they have established clear boundaries around them. They consider whether someone aligns with their ideals before they agree with and support everyone they admire. If people make them follow their unfair and meaningless rules, they will either interrupt them right now or call them out. INFJs that identify as Sigma won't mind working and mingling with Alphas. However, for all the wrong reasons, Alphas don't seem to mesh well with Sigma INFJs. But do you have Alpha pals if you're a Sigma INFJ? Do you communicate with one another?